Hey, Bill O'Reilly here. Welcome to the No Spin News, Tuesday, March 28th, 2023. Stand up for your country. Here is a life truism. Most human beings feel happiest when they feel secure. It's just human nature, as they say. But America is not a secure place today. We saw that yesterday with this terrible shooting in Tennessee. We'll get to that in a little while. But overall, our poor leadership, and it is really bad in Washington and many states, and a bunch of overseas threats like China and Russia are making we the people collectively insecure. And therefore, we're not a happy people anymore. This isn't a buoyant country. Now, I'm generalizing. You know, in your life, you may be very, very happy, and I hope you are. And you may be spreading that happiness around. I hope you do. But collectively, we're on edge here. And that sets the stage for a political strong man to rise up again. And that man would be Donald Trump, and that is the subject of this evening's Talking Points memo. So last night on Hannity, Mr. Trump sat for an interview for the whole program. Not much new stuff, and I'll explain why in a moment. There's a reason. The former president basically was annoyed, as he has been for years, about his circumstance, particularly the investigations of him. Roll the tape.
It's a new way of cheating on elections. It's called election interference. What they're doing is, if they can't win at the ballot box, because I'm leading everybody by a lot in the polls, for every Republican, frankly, and every Democrat by a lot, including Biden by a lot. And they can't beat you that way. They're going to do this kind of stuff.
Okay, so there were two things on the record in the Hannity interview. Number one, Donald Trump said he never had any social relationship with Stormy Daniels. And number two, that he would not have bailed out the Silicon Valley Bank to the tune of $20 billion taxpayer money. Now, President Biden doesn't care about that. He is the wildest, most irresponsible spender in the nation's history by far. By far. And he just writes the checks, orders the money to go out, and of course our debt rises and rises and rises, and that hurts our economy. And that's the truth. There is not two sides to that story. The data is the data. But let's get back to Donald Trump. So in my conversations with him, I suggested, after he asked, that he might want to run as a statesman this time around, because he has a record of 4 years. He might want to emulate Winston Churchill. We've gone over this before. Churchill was booted out after World War II as PM of Great Britain. He won a few years later by basically running as, look, I know what I'm doing. Okay? So I suggest that Donald Trump might adapt some of that. He is not going to do that. He's not going to do it. All right? It was clear last night that Donald Trump is going to run his campaign on grievance. Okay? Now, this is very, very interesting. This is a decision he is making. Just like the decision to sit for an interview with Sean Hannity, where Donald Trump filibustered the entire interview. Until he didn't give Hannity a chance to get into asking follow-up questions. And he would ask a question, and Trump would do 5 minutes on it. All over the place. Now, this is not unusual for a politician, but I'll tell you inside stuff. When I interviewed Barack Obama, who was very good at doing that, by the way, and Donald Trump, and I interviewed Obama 3 times, Trump about 30 times, I would tell him before the interview, if you filibuster, with all due respect, of course, I'm going to have to come in and interrupt you. And I'll do it as long as I have to do it to get the answers to my questions. I would say those words to those presidents, because I knew if I didn't, that whatever I asked, the president or the politician, whatever it may be, would just answer what they wanted for 6-7 minutes. And that's what happened last night. Now, Donald Trump does that, and Barack Obama did that for a particular reason. You control the interview that way. So you basically ignore what the question is and answer what you want to answer. And Donald Trump has mastered that. It's a very hard interview. Interestingly enough, when I went out on the tour, the history tour with him, he didn't do any of that. None of it. He answered every question I had. There wasn't one question he dodged. And he answered it in a pithy way. Wasn't any of this all over the place. But for a politician, it is shrewd to control the interview. You don't let a wise guy like O'Reilly make you look bad or ask you questions you don't want to answer. Okay? That is a calculation. The other calculation, as I said, is Donald Trump is going to run on grievance. He believes that most Americans, at least the majority that would put him back into office, are angry at a variety of things. And he's going to tap into that anger and say, I'm the only one who can avenge this, who can stop this madness. And we do have a lot of things to be angry about, let's be honest, in this country. We do. It's harder and harder and harder for working people to have what they deserve, which is a stable economy, a nice place to live, and a safe neighborhood. It's hard to have that now in many places in this country. And Trump's going to come in and say, I'm going to give it back to you. And only I can do it. That's what he's going to run on. But here's the ironic kicker. Running on grievance is the same thing that the people who exploit African Americans do. The African American culture in this country is based on grievance. We are not treated fairly. We never have been treated fairly. We are discriminated against based on skin color. Grievance, grievance, grievance. And it works. It works. And I'm going to prove that to you coming up. We're going to have a segment on reparations. Okay? That grievance has dominated African American politics for decades. For decades. Donald Trump is doing the same thing on a completely different audience, on a completely different level. But it's all about grievance. Could it work? Yeah, it could. And that's the memo. President Biden went to North Carolina today to tell everybody how great the economy is. Okay, and that's what you're going to hear from Joe Biden. Everything's great. There are no problems in this country that need to be fixed. I'm the greatest president, and that's that. Okay? So while Trump tells you the country's going down the drain, Biden's going to tell you the country's the greatest level ever because of me. So there you go. And, you know, the American voter is going to go, oh, yeah, like that. But when it comes right down to it, stripping away all the BS, as I always do for you, the Democrats and Biden are running against the grocery store. The Democrats and Biden are running against the grocery store in the next election. All right. Now, new poll, Monmouth, so-so poll, all Democrats, 542 registered Democrats. Do you want Joe Biden to run again? Okay. Most of them say no. 40%, that's not most. 4 in 10 Democrats want Biden to step aside in 2024. 2 quotes from the poll. First one, 3 in 4 Democrats, 74%, have a favorable opinion of Joe Biden. Just 14% hold an unfavorable view. However, when asked what they want to see happen in 24, if the choice was up to them, nearly half, 44%, would like Biden to step aside so someone else can run as a Democrat for president. Just 25% say their preference is for Biden to pursue a second term. That's an amazing last sentence. Just 25% of Democrats want Biden to run again. Okay. Second extrapolation, word of the day from the poll, quote, half, 51% of the Democrat electorate cannot offer a name when asked who they would like to see as the party's nominee if Biden does not run. Among those who do have a preferred alternative, Vice President Harris, 13% is the only potential contender who registers above single digits. Now I'm going to deal with that in the thought of the day, in the final thought of the day, okay? So the Democrats don't have anybody else. That's why Biden's still in the game. All right, he would have announced before if they had any strong candidate, which they do not. Hey, Bill O'Reilly here. I want to tell you about GhostBed. GhostBed has been designing high-quality sleep products for more than 2 decades with more than 50,000 positive customer reviews. Wow. GhostBed has luxury mattresses and premium sheets that get softer with every wash. Their mattresses have a cooling feature. Each is made with their signature Ghost Ice fabric, perfect for hot sleepers. Get fast and free shipping, plus a 101-night sleep trial with free returns. Trying their mattress is truly risk-free. So please go online, take their quiz to find out the ideal mattress for your sleeping style. Get 30% off GhostBed mattresses plus 2 free luxury pillows, or get 40% off when you bundle a mattress with their award-winning adjustable base. Use promo code BILL at ghostbed.com/bill to take advantage of this fabulous offer. That's ghostbed.com/bill, promo code BILL. All right, let's go to the mail. We got George, a concierge member, and I'll have a word about that in a moment. They keep talking about when Social Security may run out of money, but they never mention when welfare will run out of money and when are we going to run out of foreign aid money. Never on any of them. We'll just borrow it. That's what we do. In America, we borrow, borrow, borrow. That's why we have $32 trillion in debt. Mark, in my opinion, 99% of Trump supporters are peaceful, law-abiding folks who just want what's best. 1% are violent idiots. That's no different than 1% of police, Catholic priests, etc. Every group has some bad people. I don't think it would make much of a difference if Donald Trump used the term nonviolent. That doesn't, so what? He should say peaceful whenever he's rallying his supporters. What's the downside? Okay, let's go to Kevin Slattery, good Irishman. I am a conservative. Many of my friends are as well. Among those I know, none of us like Donald Trump. Okay? Certainly a minority in the Republican Party feel the way you do, Kevin. Deborah Carney, Kilgore, Texas. I always look forward to the No Spin News. In my quest for the truth, I found that you supply it, O'Reilly. Thank you. As a premium member, I don't care how Trump comes off in tweets or whatever platform he uses. He kept the country safe. He made us energy independent, no inflation. My life was much better when he was president. There you go. Carolyn, concierge member, the Dems and media supporters made the mistake of declaring that there was absolutely no irregularities in the 2020 election, and anybody who disagreed was a conspiracy person or a white supremacist. They never accepted ex-President Trump's win in 2016. I think there's some truth to that. If you hold the opinion the election was rigged, that's your opinion. Not based on any verifiable fact now, but you can hold that opinion. Sandra Stearman, Grand Prairie, Texas. I was wondering if you heard about the new mansion tax in California. Of course. California is going to tax anybody with access. It's never going to stop. So if you have an expensive property and you sell it in California, you'll kick a lot of money to the government. We have that in New York as well. Just finished. This is from Nancy LaFrance in Atlanta, Michigan. Never been to Atlanta, Michigan. Finished Killing the Rising Sun. Wow. What a book. I enjoyed it immensely. I learned so much about World War II. It's sad that your books aren't used to teach history in public schools, Bill. It is sad. Those Urchins will like those books and they learn a lot. Now, what Nancy did was the back list. Okay, there are 12 killing books, and you can get them all. You can go to BillO'Reilly.com. We have them, but you can go to Amazon, and it's called a backlist. So if you missed them, pick them on up. Okay, let's take another very quick break, and I got a final thought on Joe Biden. The chairman of the Fed is promising more pain ahead. Last year, stocks dropped a whopping 20%. 2023 could be worse. You are right to be worried. So call the only precious metal dealer I trust, American Hartford Gold. They will show you how to protect your savings and retirement accounts by diversifying your portfolio with physical gold and silver. Since I've been a client and spokesperson, The price of gold has appreciated more than 35%. So please call today and they'll have physical gold and silver delivered right to your door or put inside your IRA or 401k. They have thousands of satisfied customers and have the highest rating in the country with an A+ rating from the Better Business Bureau. Please tell them Bill O'Reilly sent you, and they will give you up to $5,000 of free silver on your first order. Please call 866-501-5201. That's 866-501-5201 or text BILL to 65532. Again, that's 866-501-5201 or text BILL to 65532. Here is a final thought of the day: Biden or bust. So Democrats, as we pointed out earlier, they don't have anybody else. And that is really an interesting situation because Joe Biden is not capable of being president. If you don't know that, then I can't help you because he's running the country into the ground. Things are going to get worse. It's just terrible. So we got to get a new Democratic nominee for president. Can't put Kamala in there. She can't even speak. Biden speaks better than Kamala. Hard to believe, but I can't. Only 13% of Democrats, 13%, want her to run for president. So who else? Can't do Newsom. California's insane. Okay? Chuck Schumer, are you kidding me? Senate Majority Leader? Can't do him. AOC? We might as well all move to China if that happens. So who do they have? I don't know. I don't know. I'm trying to go over the card catalog in my mind. Bernie Sanders? You can't run him again. So look, not my problem. The Republicans have many, many more qualified candidates. Nikki Haley, who I don't particularly like, she laid out a decent border plan today. You might look that up. It was pretty good. Got to give her props. I don't think she's a leader I would feel confident in, but that was good. When was the last time you saw a Democrat lay out a decent border plan? Never. Where are they? Where is it? Joe Biden? Are you kidding me? He's going to be 80 years old. And he acts 90. Act your age. Well, I am. I'm acting 90. So this is not a good deal. We have a strongman populist, Donald Trump. He could win again. We have a very efficient governor, DeSantis in Florida. He's got some momentum. I don't know whether he could run the country well or not, but he ran Florida very well, and that's the stepping stone. All right, we got Tim Scott, Senator for South Carolina. Kristi Noem, the governor of South Dakota. I mean, these are all very effective leaders that the Republican Party could go to. Okay? But the Democrats, you know, you're sitting there, you're going, and there's got to be a why. And I'll tell you what I think it is, although I'm not in that world, so I don't know for sure. If you don't go along with the progressive left in the Democratic Party, they ice you. So there's no such thing as a moderate Democrat anymore. So if you're not a loon, a far left loon, you don't have any say. And that's thanks to Nancy Pelosi. I think that's what destroyed the fabric of leadership in the Democratic Party. Certainly don't have any, you know, we don't have RFK or JFK or Moynihan, or we don't have any of these people anymore. They're gone. You got to be a far left zealot to get any traction in the Democratic Party. I think that's what's going on. Anyway, we always appreciate you taking the time to watch and listen to the No Spin News. I thought tonight's program had a lot of interesting things. Let me know what you think, and we'll see you tomorrow. Thank you for watching the No Spin News. To watch the full episode anytime on BillO'Reilly.com, please sign up to become a premium or concierge member. Visit BillO'Reilly.com to sign up and start watching today.